I'm surprised, though, that the British government doesn't have a view on whether this enormously important military action was or was not legal.
We weren't involved.
You don't have to be the Foreign Secretary to know that the United States attacks on 3 nuclear power facilities in Iran 2 days ago were illegal, but David Lammy here seems to have let this blatant and obvious fact fly directly over his lobbied head. Lammy made an appearance on Radio 4 today where he had a bout of selective deafness when the legality of Donald Trump's actions were raised by host Justin Webb. The MP for Tottenham seems to think that you can only know if something's legal or not if your country is involved with it, and the way he tries to dodge the issue simply beggars belief. Let's see what's happening.
I'm surprised, though, that the British government doesn't have a view on whether this enormously important military action was or was not legal.
We weren't involved, is
yes,
the truth.
But I mean, there are all sorts. Hang on a second. We were not involved in Russia attacking Ukraine, but we have a very firm view of whether it was legal or not. What is our view of the legality?
Justin, there isn't moral equivalence here.
No, I'm not suggesting there is, but we do make judgments about whether actions are legal or not.
If I may, can I finish the point?
Or you could just answer the bloody question, but that would show that we're backing another war criminal, wouldn't it, David?
Vladimir Putin invaded a sovereign nation. It was crystal clear.
And Trump clearly bombed a nuclear facility, which is clearly against international law, as well as the protocol in the US itself, which constitutionally requires the approval of Congress for any such military action. It's right here in Article 56 of the Geneva Convention, which states, "Works and installations containing dangerous forces, namely dams, dikes and nuclear electrical generating stations, shall not be made the object of attack, even where these objects are military objectives, if such attack may cause the release of dangerous forces and consequent severe losses among the civilian population." You might want to give that a read, David.
It is for the Americans, and you can get the ambassador online and you can discuss with him Article 2 and Article 51 of the UN Charter, and you can get into that issue. But what I can tell you is that the UK was not involved in this military action.
Yeah.
What we have been attempting to do is get the Iranians back to diplomacy. We have
Sure.
a long-standing concern that goes back 20
let me tell you why I asked the
years
question.
about the Iranians' nuclear program. That is my effort
Yeah,
as Foreign Secretary.
and actually, I do want to talk to you about that. Let me tell you why I've asked the question. That Carl Bildt, who you will know well, former Prime Minister of Sweden, he's now the co-chair of the European Council of Foreign Relations, saying of the joint statement that this country, France and Germany, issued, it's remarkable for completely ignoring the subject of legality, he said. I hope they understand, that's you, that being blind on this issue, they undermine their position also on Russia's war against Ukraine. Might must not be right. Now, this is a sovereign country, Iran. It was attacked without warning while they thought talks might or might not still have been going on. So it's a legitimate question, isn't it, whether or not it's legal, and it's extraordinary that you can't answer it.
I don't think it is extraordinary.
It is extraordinary, seeing as when Russia invaded Ukraine, Lammy and Starmer leapt out of their seats to immediately condemn Vladimir Putin. But why not the same for Donald Trump?
Russia claims to stand for the global south, but it runs roughshod over international law.
Because this was not the UK's action. We were not involved. We were clear when this began and Israel's attacks began that we were not involved, and we were clear again yesterday morning that we were not involved in those actions overnight.
Well, we have been involved in spying on Iran for Israel, so that's a lie, and don't be surprised if it turns out in the near future that we also had some form of role in this attack, which is clearly illegal, but Lammy doesn't have the balls to say it was. This is mostly because he and Starmer want to brown-nose Trump as much as they can, and they're also directly lobbied and paid by Israel, meaning that they wouldn't be allowed to make a statement that supports their sworn enemies, in this case, Iran. It's an absolute embarrassment that people like this are said to represent us on the international stage, and it's even more embarrassing when a protest that sprays a bit of paint on a plane is now considered terrorism, but attacks on 3 nuclear power plants aren't. If you're from the UK, then I'm sure that you're embarrassed as well, but wherever you're from, please let me know what you think about David Lammy's stance, or lack of, down below in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe and thumbs up buttons to help us out on the algorithm. You can now join the channel with a membership for just 99p with some great perks for you to enjoy, including exclusive content and early viewings, plus lots more. And you get to join the list of awesome people who support the channel that you can see on your screen right now. Hit the join button or follow the links in the channel description. If you'd like to make a one-off contribution, then please hit super thanks on the video or follow the link to our Buy Me a Coffee page, where you can help to show solidarity and support the channel for just the price of a tasty hot beverage. All contributions are greatly appreciated. Thanks again everyone. My left eye will be seeing you soon.